Influencers. I don't get it. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Influencers, just in general, I just don't get it. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. The economy doesn't make sense to me. I get that there's, it's sort of a modern day celebrity, right? Like Paris Hilton back in the early 2000s would have been like this. The Kardashians, I suppose, are like this now. They're a blend of influencer and celebrity. But influencers just don't, I don't get the economics, the economics behind it. Because if you go to most influencers like Instagram pages, and you click through and you go to their links, what you see is a whole host of things. If there's an OnlyFans, well then you know the real way they're making money. That's not fair. It's not fair. They're probably not just making money, or just not necessarily making money on OnlyFans, and they may not be using the pornographic aspect of OnlyFans. There's plenty of people who are chefs on OnlyFans, from what I'm told, or from what OnlyFans puts out in its investor paperwork. Excuse me. Look, the main thing I don't get about influencers is that it's sort of this hustle of happiness. Not like, oh, I'm becoming so happy. More like look how happy I am. Look how much fun I'm having. Aren't I beautiful? Even if I'm taking a stand against, socially acceptable norms of beauty. Important to note, most of the popular people taking stands against socially accepted norms of beauty are in fact socially acceptably beautiful. Or rather, socially conventionally beautiful. Which is just weird. I always found that interesting. But maybe I'm just a grumpy old man. The main thing I don't get is there's this trend with influencers. They put up all these links to all of their social medias, and then there's something called an Amazon wish list. It's a Christmas list. It's an influencer asking you to spend money to buy them stuff. It's like me submitting a list to Santa Claus, only without the promise that I've been good this year. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, I get that you're probably not, there wouldn't be so many ads for ways to make tons and tons of money with passive income if influencing was such a huge money-making endeavor. But the Amazon wishlist thing is just confusing to me. It doesn't make any sense. You have these people essentially throwing it out to the internet. Hey, can you please send me this stuff? I would like this stuff. Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you having people send you things? Just buy things. And I don't mean that to sound as probably economically insensitive as it is. No. Find ways to earn money to buy the things you want. Don't ask somebody else to buy you things. I'd be interested to see the data on who actually does the buying on those Amazon wish lists. I'd be curious to see if people who can afford it are buying those things. It's just an idle curiosity of mine, call it. It's just weird. I just don't get it. And it's one thing, I feel like it's always one thing if like an influencer is actually doing something. Like you see actors who also double as influencers. Well, they have a large popularity fan base. They are popular because they do something. They are actors. They're out there doing other things, and the influencing, whatever that looks like, is just sort of part of what they're doing, but they have a talent they're sharing with the world. There's just so many, and I'm guilty of feeding into that economy because I scroll through those reels. But there's just so many who I just don't understand how they got hundreds of thousands or even sometimes upwards of 1 million followers. And it's actually a little bit creepy when it's like young girls getting all these followers, because then you go to the comments section and the dark side of humanity just shows up, even in things that are not like, I'm going to stalk you, right? Like, there's nobody's saying that out loud, because that would be saying the quiet part out loud. No, you see these, like, I saw one today that was really, really weird. That was like, adopt me, mommy. Unfortunately, I have to assume that that's an adult. Whether adult man or woman doesn't make it any less weird. Excuse me. It's just, I don't know, man. The internet influencer culture, it's a dark, scary place. I miss the days when the internet was, and grumpy old man speech incoming. I miss the days when the internet was pretty much news and cracked.com. Back when cracked.com just did funny lists. They made me laugh. And then everything started to shift. I don't know at what point it started to shift, but the funny thing is, it started to shift when companies started seeing opportunities to use this rise of influencers to advertise for their products. It amazes me that we don't make a bigger deal out of that. Nobody's, like, you're never free from commercials and advertisements. Companies just find new ways to advertise their stuff. They find the most popular way to get it in front of you. And it's not a bad thing, right? I disagree with influencer culture as a whole, but it's not a bad thing that companies are trying to find ways to advertise their products. We just can't look at influencer culture as this sort of independent way to make money, because at the end of the day, it relies on sponsors. And now they're teaching classes about how to DM sponsors to make sure that they really give you those sweet, sweet advertising dollars. This brand sponsors me. You should use them. And then you have a code, and you get money off that code. It's not even a particularly rewarding way for an influencer to get money, because then it's just left sitting. You just have to go and hope people that convert that code into sales, and you get a percentage of that. I sort of lost the thread of where we were here, but mostly just that I don't understand influencer culture, and I've sort of gone through multiple reasons why I don't understand it. Part of it might just be that I just don't understand the kids these days, which I never thought I'd say at 32 years old, although when I was in, I had something stuck in my teeth there. When I was in middle school and high school, age 30 was like the cutoff age for being fun. That's what was in all the TV shows. At 30, your life was done. You needed to be married and settle down and have beautiful children by that point. And nobody had to say it. Now it's all changed. If you're talking to like Gary Vaynerchuk, whatever his last name is, he'll tell you that, 30 is so young. 30 is so young. I don't know. The internet's a weird place. It does its best to be so encouraging, and yet everything surrounding that encouragement draws you to the conclusion that the world is just screwed. Just in general, it's just screwed. I don't know. It's just plain weird. Strange. It is a strange world we live in. But I can't solve it in 10 minutes. I can only vent about it, which is why this is 10 Minutes with Nick. I appreciate whoever listened to this for tuning in. And next time, we'll find something else for me to rant about and possibly not solve. Although maybe I'll go backwards and I'll solve the influencing crisis, which I've now just dubbed. If there wasn't a crisis before, there is now, because I've declared it so. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Thanks for tuning in.